Hi guys, it's Thursday afternoon now. I'm off work all day today, so me and Elizabeth's come down to the garden here and we're going to have a bit of a tidy up and get things prepared and sorted. So I'm just going to get cracked on basically. We're going to get the bottom of the garden next door covered and get a few weeds taken out as well. Right, I'm going to get this all covered up now. That's that covered. It's going to be the marrow patch for next year because I might contemplate putting a pumpkin up there for next year, but that's covered for the time being. So we'll bat it down. What we're going to do next job, Elizabeth, we're going to get these sweet peas taken down at the back there because they're finished now, so we're just going to quickly go over there and get them sorted. All right? Whip them down. And there we'll have, after all sorted, sweet peas down, turned over, ready to go for next year now. I'll leave that for over the winter. So that's that sorted out. Let's go check these marrows. Just before I show you the marrows, we've just cleared out all of this bed and finished up clearing out this bed as well for the weeds. Elizabeth's doing an absolutely fantastic job there. I've been pulling them out, she's been taking them away. We just need to basically get a brush just to get the rest of the bits brushed up. But what's that bed deweeded? That bed deweeded as well. Right, like I said before, to the marrows. So me and Elizabeth now, I've already made a start actually. We've taken the covers off. Yes, that was fireworks in the background, idiots. This is the big marrow, the biggest one we've got so far. This is from third place in Malvern last year, the seed from Vince. So the idea behind putting the sand underneath the marrow is so that when it grows bigger, it pushes the sand out and it gives it an even base, and it also lets the water through, so the bottom is not sodden, or there's no water on the base as well, or rock from the bottom as well. So we've already made a start by doing this one, and we're just giving you a show of how big this one is. Elizabeth, do you want to lie next to it?
No,
come on, you can come lie next to it. Nearly the same size as Elizabeth. Right, hope you get them. Hope you get them. So we've done this one, we're going to do that one, but we'll do that one on super fast speed. Let's do it, Elizabeth. It's the second marrow done. This one's starting to get bigger and bigger, which is great. There's the size. It's alright so far. Well, like I say, that one's the biggest one. I'll give you a size comparison now as well. My foot. Can't even get it all in there. There you go. Belter. Well, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, me and Elizabeth, with the spent compost from the tomatoes, the potatoes, we put carrots in these buckets. And how do you think they're doing, Elizabeth?
Pretty good.
I think you've had a good germination. Daddy came in the other day and I separated them all off the 1 carrot per station. So that's how many we've got here. We've had a good germination here. So we've got one in each bed there. We need one in each bay. We've got one in each bay in here as well. In fact, there's 2 there. I'll take that one out because we don't need that one. We'll go on to this one. Pretty much sort of the same, but it's there's a little less on there for some reason. And then here we've got a tomato. Got a tomato which I'll be getting pulled out. So they've not done too bad at all. Well done, darling.
Oh, it's a dead spider.
Let's play with the spiders now. I'll leave that be. In the new polytunnel here, I just want to show you from last week when I mentioned about my mistake. I can 100% confirm that this is a giant marrow. As you can see there, I'm growing a giant marrow vertical. That's madness, madness. Well, let's see how big it gets before it drops off. I need to move that vine. Look how much it's grown. Look how much it's grown. There's the leader. I'm going to stick this up here. It's all watered up now. Elizabeth's getting one of the marrows.
It's my baby.
That's one of the ones that I've taken off. That's one of the smaller ones. Isn't it, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
It's heavy though, isn't it?
It's my baby.
Let's give it a weigh and see what it weighs like. Eh? I've got other onions in here which are just drying off. Like I say, the ones that I mentioned on the live video last night. These are the ones that I pulled the other day. I've got two up there as well. That one's no good because it's got a rot on the bottom. And this is one I've just pulled up now. It's a smaller one, but it'll do for seed in any case.
You definitely can tell it's chopped off.
Yep, it's definitely chopped off because you're carrying it around, Elizabeth. Right, let's go get it weighed. See what it's like. Popped it on there. That's just the little one. And that one is just over, it's nearly 8 1/4 pound.
Wow.
So I don't know what that is in kilo, but it's a little one. We'll take that home and see what we do with it. We'll put that in the car. Go on then, we'll go get in the car. So yeah, that's us done for today. I'll catch you on Sunday when I'm next off. Morning, Sunday morning. Down the plot for a few hours. I'm getting the veg for the dinner today as well. I'm coming down to inspect the damage from the storms that we had the other day. It looks like I've already lost this sunflower, which I'll show you here now. So that's a Titan sunflower that's unfortunately snapped at the base. It's just because I wasn't expecting them to get so big, to be honest. So I will be taking these down today because they're pretty much done. So I'll take all the heads off and I'll take this supports down and things and I'll open that section up as well. The second task I'm going to get on with today is searching for the pumpkins in this pumpkin patch. So I know I've got one here, and I know there's a couple on the side vines and things, but I need to inspect to see where the main ones are. I'm sure it's going to be this one, and I'm sure there's one up there as well that I'm going to be keeping because I only want to keep 2. The rest of them can all come off, so that's the next plan as well. Everything else I just need to have a look and see what's going on with. So I'm going to get, look at this path. It's just neglect. I need to tidy down the bottom. So a couple of hours here. I'm going to do some harvesting. I'm going to do some tidying up, and I'm going to get this sorted out because it needs to be done. So first task, like I said, get these sunflowers down. I've got my saw here. So it's going to make things a lot easier. I'm going to get them sawed off the bottom, lift the roots out, and then I'm going to take the heads and put them somewhere nice and dry. There's the sunflower head collection. Feel like a bit of a hunter. I'm going to measure a couple of the biggest ones to see what size we're getting. I do have 3 just to the left of where the camera is there, where the black sunflowers are. But they are throwing out side shoots as well, and side sunflowers. So I'm just leaving them in. I've just taken the tops off because the tops were starting to droop right over. And these ones here, like I say, they're a decent size head. Now I've got my little tape measure here. The biggest one I've ever grown is 15 inches across. So I'm not going to do all of them, but let's have a look and see what size we're getting with these ones. So from side to side, 15 inches. So right on the edge of there, so right on the edge of there, 15. So can't go wrong with that, like. So I'll equal my personal best with these. So put that one across there. See about this one. I don't think this one's as big as that one. That one's 14 inches. So this one, that's 13. So they're not going to get bigger than 15. So 15 is the biggest that I've grown this year for the head, for the size. What I can do is I can keep the big ones and I can grow them again next year. Like I showed you in previous videos, all you need to do is take the flowers off the top. Just take the flowers off the top, and that will then show all of the seeds. You just dry them out, and then when it comes to the time to picking them out, you pick them out. Now I tell you who's got a good video out for collecting sunflower seeds, and that's Nick from Nick's Allotment. So you can have a look over Nick's YouTube, and he'll show you a quick way to getting these out as well. But I'm going to take these, get them all dried off, because you can do all sorts with the sunflower seeds. You can roast them, you can leave them for the birds, you can do all sorts with them. You can save them for next year as well. So there's the Titan sunflowers done for 2020. So welcome to my jungle, my pumpkin patch jungle. Giant pumpkins are in here. I should only have 2 fruits setting. I need to get in here and I need to see exactly where the main vine is so I can see where the pumpkin's set. I do know that there is one right at the back and there's this one down here. They will more than likely be the 2 pumpkins that I will grow in this section here. So I need to go in here, have a look, see where the other ones are, see what the side shoots are and things. I'm just leaving this. I'm not going to focus much on it at all. I'm just going to let it do its thing and see how big they get basically. It's outside. I'm not going to feed it or anything like that. But I'm going to get in there and get the rest of the fruits taken off so that these 2 that I've got set will grow fine. And all the feed will go into them ones themselves. Right, so there's a lot of pumpkin fruit that was set. That was probably the biggest one. So you think that all of these are taking energy from the 2 that I've got here. So let's get you down from there and we'll go and have a look at these pumpkins. So there's 2 pumpkins in here. This one here is growing on a side vine, secondary vine. But I'm just going to leave it because it's the only one that's set, because there was no fruit set on the main vine from what I can see. So as you can see there, if I just put my foot next to it, it's a canny size already. Now same tip with the marrows, for the pumpkins. We don't want any of these rubbing up against it because they're barbed basically, and they're like little saw blades. So I need to make sure that there's plenty of room for this to grow, which there will be by the time I move some stuff around. Make sure that the vine itself is free so it can move as well. I'm not expecting this one to get as big as the other one because the other one's on the main vine, but it's a start. And I'll get some sand, more sand to put under here so that it can grow into this area. Now I will have to move a lot of stuff here. Move this, I'll just kick the stuff out of the way to be honest. So I'll give it plenty spaces to move, to grow into should I say. And we'll see how big that one gets. Now the other one is just in that clearing at the back there, because when I was in, I just started clearing an area because it was right up against the back section there, and I can't flip it around. So listen, then these get massive, these plants. Just the plant alone is huge. But this one here is probably going to be the biggest one. It's a nice shape as well. Foot around next to it. I've moved a lot of these saw blades. I don't know what it's going to be like at the back here when it gets bigger. It might not last, but that's at the minute that's the biggest pumpkin I've ever grown. And for comparison size, it's a decent one, like. But we'll see how that goes in anyways. But that's going to keep on growing out, so I'll end up having to move all of these and things, and we'll just see how big that gets. As you can see with the plant, it's just growing further and further. It's growing out the side there as well. That's the reason as to why I want to move if I want to grow these again, they'll be getting grown next door where the marrows are getting grown. Next door there. Right, time to move on. That's another task done. Let's see when I get sorted, then I'll go and harvest the veg for dinner today. This tunnel, my mistakes, I'm going to have to chop them down. So this marrow plant here, that's inside. I'm going to have to chop this down because these kind of grow vertical, and I'm not growing them horizontally inside the polytunnel here. So I'm just going to get rid of the whole plant, and then next year I'm going to tidy up mood at the minute. So everything's starting to get tidied up for come September, October time. So I am going to basically destroy this plant, get it down, and then go in the onion house and get that one done as well. It'll be hard for this one in here as well, so I'm going to chop this and I'm going to take it out. Done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get these long chilies planted on this side. That's what the original plan was. I've got to get 2 of these potted into the 10 litre buckets, so I'm going to do that now as well. And I've still got this one which I need to plant out onto this side, which will not take 2 seconds. So let's get this bit done, and then I'm going to be lifting the that onion. I'm going to be lifting that onion as well because the necks are gone on them. That one is still going. I'll leave that one in till last. So that's 1 long chilli, 2, 3 and 4. That's 4 long chilies, all popped into, especially fresh compost, Levinton's M2, pot and bedding. So these are later than these two. These two are already got lots of growth on them as well, which is great. I think I was looking. I think it's 49 centimeters or something like that is the longest chili. I know what Seb got a UK record last year, I do believe, with his, and that's who I got the seed off. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with these. I'm going to take the bottom growth off their side shoots. Don't want the side shoots on. I'll have to ask a few questions about growing these, to be honest. Like for example, do you, like everything else, do you take a lot of fruit off just to focus on a couple, or what's the process with it? Do you need to tie these up to keep them straight, like with on a bit of pole or something? So I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a play with it because a lot of them are curling up, and it's from the top there to the tip. That's how they measure them. So it needs to be kept straight. So I'll see what's what, but other than that, these are growing nicely here. I'll have some seed for next year in any case as well, from good stock, so I'm pleased with them. Right, I'm going to get that one dry, give them a drink, but I'm going to lift these onions now as well. Right, the time has come to lift 2 of the giant onions. So these were grown for heavy from seed, the Peter Glazebrookes, and I've done them no justice basically. The middle one I will be leaving. I'll be tidying up the weeds. These 2 are coming out. The necks are starting to get soft. This one's gone. So I'm going to take them out now and we'll have a look and see what they're like. There we go. Two giant onions for heavy. They were Peter Glazebrook strain. You can see the unique shape of them. This one here on the left hand side, I can feel it's going double. And when I mean going double, means it's throwing up another head, so it's throwing up 2 heads. And I can feel it because the way it's growing up the neck, it's splitting the neck there. I think that's probably the reason why it hasn't grown. But let me tidy these up and we'll have a good look at them in any case. So that's them cleaned off. I'm going to give them a measure, because I think I've still got the tape measure in my pocket, but it's a very peculiar shape of onion, this. It hasn't grown as big as I was expected to. I think they were about 18 inches round last time I checked, whereas the one behind us here is sitting at 25, 24, 25. But let's have a look at them in any case. But that's them 2 heavy onions. I'll weigh them when I get to the top of the garden, and we'll see how big these are getting. So I'm just measuring these. Sorry, I was going to go get stuff sorted here, but let's have a look and see what size they are. So I thought they were about 17 inches. So if I get this wrapped around here, we'll have a look and see how big it gets getting here. This one alone is, oh, that's pleasantly surprising. So this one here is currently 20 inches round, which is all right. here is also, let's have a look. I haven't measured them. See what size this one is. I say I've taken a couple of skins off. Shouldn't have done, because you don't dress heavy onions, but never mind. This one here is 18 3/4. So the other one was the biggest one. But while I'm here, let's have a quick measure of this big one here. See what size it is, because I was throwing numbers out before. Guesstimating the size. If I get around the fattest part of its belly. Get it up, get it around. 23 inches. So this one's 23 inches. I'm going to have a look and quickly measure the other ones, and then we'll just see what they're like. I've got one more in there, which is the pip, which is no good, but let's carry on. So these are the onions inside the big polytunnel. That's in the trench. These are the ones from seed. A bit like glazed seeds again. It's still growing. It's still got a solid neck on it. Get around the fattest part of its belly. Put it all the way around. That one's nigh on 24 inches. So this one here, I'm expecting to be my biggest onion. Personal best to beat this year, but we'll have to wait and see. I've still got one behind you, which I'll spin the camera around and we'll have a look at that one as well. Now this one is the last surviving pip. So I grew from seed and I grew from pip last year. It's rotted. It's not going to store anything like that. It's probably not going to grow anymore, to be honest, but let's have a look and see how big it is. This will be for the compost heap, this one. It's no good. This one is 23.5 inches, but it's split in a couple of that one as well. So I'm expecting this one here to be my biggest onion. So that will be lifted at the end of September. So we've still got another 4 weeks left if it's got any more growth on it, which, as you can see, there's a bit of thrip damage, which I'll give this a spray. But it's still growing and it's still throwing new fruits out. So this is going to be the one to keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks. Okay, just before I take this through to the we'll have a look to see the size of them onions and how much they weighed. I'm in the giant turnips, which I just chucked outside and left. Let them get on with it. Get it. You can't really see much because of the tops, but there's the one closest to us. Nothing to rant and rave about. I've got a few more in here as well. I need to move some stuff about. I've just left the tops off and the butterflies are getting in, the caterpillars are on them and all sorts. I don't want to snap too many of these. There's lots of leaf growth on the top, but there's not much growth on the bottom. There is one, I think it's that one there. That looks promising. Right, promising for to beat my personal best. Like I say, there's nothing to rant and rave about. That one under there. But like I say, if I'm going to focus on something, I'm going to have to focus on it instead of just leaving them. These have been eaten, obviously, by the caterpillars, which, as you can see, there's one there. Look at it. Let me get on with it. Finish with it now. But yeah, I think that's that. Let's I do actually want to show you, because I was having a look at my video from last year. I want to take the netting off and we'll have a look at the size of these cabbages, because the biggest one's starting to hard up now as well. So here's the giant cabbage. This is how big they are at this time of the year. I've had a look at my video last year and these are a lot bigger. The heads are starting to hard up a lot bigger as well. And as you can see there, they're a good size. This one is already hearted up and looks a little bit better as well, but this one's probably going to be the heaviest and the biggest. So these two are the ones that I'll be going for the virtual show. These are the ones I would have probably taken to Harrogate, well, one of them in any case. But let's bring it a bit closer and you can have a look at this one here as well. So there you go, it's a little bit of a better view up there. Like I say, this one here on my right hand side, it's hearted up a lot better than this one, because that one is finishing earlier than this one is. So realistically, what I would have probably done was, I would have taken this one to Harrogate and this one to Malvern. But obviously the show's not being ahead this year. It is what it is. I'm just trying to be personal best, as I will be every year moving forward. But I am very pleased with the way these have turned out, considering early on I planted them a month earlier than I did last year, and the planted them out, should I say, a month earlier. They've been hit with cold spells and all sorts, but they're looking a lot cleaner than they were last year, and that's down to obviously the pellets that I've used, the sprays that I've used, and also the new netting over the top here as well. So like I say, you can see the size of them. There's my hand. These things are huge in real life as well. I want to show you one thing down there with the Brussels sprout, because I want to say, because I know that Will had seen his had been he getting a big sprout plant as well, something like that. But I want to show you mine. There's the plant, which was supposed to be giant cabbage. It's in the pallet collar. It's a large plant. Don't get us wrong, it's a big plant. If you see, we've got rather large Brussels sprouts or sproutish type things looking on the front, but also at the top. It's starting to heart up on the top. This whole thing has got me confused to hell. Absolutely confused to hell. Look, I think this is a giant cabbage, but I think it's grown like a sprout. I don't know what's happened with it, but it's quite very, very peculiar. I mean, big sprout. It's a mini cabbage. Crazy that. But there's mine, Will. Anyways, you know, I'm sure you'll be watching this sometime. Next door to it, I've got one that's went to seed. That'll get pulled up eventually. The other ones, I'll show the other ones as well when I'm under here. Obviously, they're the ones I've showed you there. I'll just step across here underneath the net. This one is ready. There's my hand there. It's not as big as the other ones, but it is a big cabbage. That one there is starting to blow at the top, from what I can see. I'm just getting right down here. You can see it's blowing, which means it's running more likely going to run to seed. But hey, I do really like these. I do really like them. They look lovely. I like ornamental as well. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to get this cover back on with the amount of cabbage whites that's around, just to protect them off. And I'm going to weigh them onions. So I've got the scales. We'll put the smaller one on first. Roots and all. Wait for it to come up. And we've got 5 pound 9 ounces. So that's the first one, 5 pound 9. And the bigger one, I'll just wait for it to come up. Hey, the bigger one's smaller. It's 5.4 ounces, 5 pounds and 4 ounces. So that's quite strange, isn't it? That one smaller than that one, but that one is wider. This one's heavier. So there you go. Just goes to show, doesn't it? So right, I'm going to go and lift one of the giant carrots up now, because I noticed that it's split at the back. So I'm going to take it back down to the bottom of the garden, and we'll lift one of the giant carrots up and have a look and see what it's like. So the giant carrots in the buckets. We've got a couple here that looking canny on the top. That one's looking good. Let's see, these are going for heavy weight, so they're not supposed to be straight up and down. They're supposed to be deformed, so there's a good deformity on that one. Same with this one as well. There's a good deformity down there as well. But I look forward to leaving them ones till show day, for the virtual show. This one here is a little bit smaller and it hasn't grown as much, and I've looked at the back here, and as you can see, it's split. So I'm going to get this lifted now and we'll have a look and see what it's like. So there we go. We've got the second giant carrot, because the one got pulled up a while ago. I always seem, I had one last year as well, and I've got the one this year as well. The carrot splits. It just continues to split. So the reason for this is because when it's for sudden downpour rain or for sudden watering, it swells up too much, and then it expands and obviously blows up. That's exactly what's happened here. But too much water at the time, and as you can see the core of the carrot and things. I mean, for heavyweight, this would not be disqualified, because basically you're growing it for the weight itself, not the look or the appearance or anything like that. It's still grown. I could have left this in and it would have still continued to grow, but obviously it wasn't going to grow anything. What I want is, I want like side shoots, I want a big nasty top, I want this looking as ugly and fugly as possible. But this one is a no-go. This one will be getting chopped up, this one will be going in the compost heap. But Just gives you a show for giant carrots. This is it's a foot long, just over a foot long. Well, my size 9 long anyways. The other ones, I want them to be longer, I want them to go further down, and I want them to be a lot bigger, which I know they already are on the top, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing what they're like a little bit further down as well. I've got a target to beat. I've got my personal best, which is on my video from last year. I've got it written down as well in my phone, so I'll know what I need to beat, so when the time comes to weigh them, we'll see what happens, and that'll be the end of September. So look out for those as well. Right, time to go and dig some veg for the garden for the dinner of the day. So the first thing I'm going to get some swede from here. I need some snowball turnip, sorry. So this is where I know the turnip are. I need a big one. So we get a good size one here. There's an alright one. A couple of them. Happy days. So next we'll get some broccoli. So the broccoli in here has not grown as I anticipated. I wanted it to grow big, like I had last year in the bed next door. I just popped these in after I lifted the cauliflowers. So one of them's actually bolted here, which is no good. I'm going to take a couple of these little heads and we'll see what happens with them. But there's one there that started to go. That's going to be no good, so that's going to be going in the compost heap. So I left it too late. I mean, the likes of these ones here, it's tiny, absolutely tiny. Might get a one here. Unfortunately, the butterflies are getting in. It's absolutely ladled with caterpillars. But there's a decent head of broccoli. So I just drowned all of them caterpillars. Stop getting one anyways. I'll take the rest up because the rest is going to bolt and go to seed in any case. So I've got one head from here. I know my guana's got some more, so we'll be heading my guana's next for some potatoes and things. Here comes the rain, so I'm going to have to be quick here. I want to get one of these giant turnips up for dinner. We'll see what I say giant turnips. Like I say, we'll see what I can get just for dinner of the day. I'll leave the bigger ones in. We'll see what they taste like. Get one of the ones at the back there because I know these didn't grow as big as the other ones. That'll do. That'll do for our dinner of the day. Oh, it's starting to really come down now. Great, just what I wanted when I was lifting veg. I'm going to get wet. Giant turnip. No giant about that. I realised you couldn't see a thing out there, sorry about that. So there's the turnip that I've pulled up. That is going to be used for dinner today. Nothing giant about it, but like I say, waste not, want not. It will be going in the pot and in my belly later on. The rain started to absolutely pour down now, so I'm going to have to be quick. I'll not be able to do a lot of recording outside with my phone, of course. So let me see what I can get sorted and show you for the rest of the meal for the day, for the harvesting. Here into my granddad's. He's left us with some runner beans already, which is fantastic. So these are Stella runner beans. These are the ones which I originally got off Mark Potter, so thank you very much, Mark, for sending them seeds a couple of years ago. Me and my granddad kept them, and he's got them grown along the back there, so he's been very helpful with that. He's got a bag there as well for me potatoes. So there's some potatoes under here, and we'll be digging some potatoes up and see what we get from here. For dinner today, just out from 3 plants basically. Some nice sized potatoes there, absolute sod's law. The first one I took, I stabbed it. But there's some nice sized potatoes there, and they'll do for a nice dinner of the day. So there's the potatoes done. let's go and have a look and see. I'll get a cabbage and some more collie from over there. I like the look of this one. So I've been informed by my granda not to lift the base up because he's got club root. So take the top off. There's a nice cabbage for dinner. It's going to be the same principle with this broccoli here. So it's got a nice big head here. So I take a knife. Chop them off. Oh, a bit of claret, harvesting. Ooh, a bit of blood. I don't know what I've done there, but never mind. But there's a nice head of broccoli to go with the other head of broccoli. The rest of them look like they've all gone to seed. So see what else I can find. And there we have it. There's my harvest for dinner today. We've got runner beans, we've got snowball turnip, normal turnip, we've got broccoli, potatoes and cabbage. I don't have any carrots or anything yet, so I'm just going to have to pop to the shop and get some the other stuff that I don't have. So there, but the majority of the dinner of the day, once again, will be from the garden. I'll show you while I'm in here. These are the leeks that were put in, just sunk in. They're doing really well, and they'll be ready for springtime. We're going to put some transplanted swede in here as well, so we'll have them later on. These apple trees are absolutely laden with fruit. It's fantastic. I will be getting some fruit off them this year. The bananas, they're not bananas, they're pears. What an absolute dipstick. The pear tree is looking really good as well after the heavy winds. And we've also got another apple tree here, which is absolutely laden with fruit, as you can see there. He does have another apple tree down there, which I'll show you. And this is the Bramley apple tree. Oh, sorry, the cooking apple tree, should I say. Absolutely loads of fruit on here. Absolutely tons. Some nice weighted fruit on here. You can't reach the ones up there. Monty, look. I can't reach them ones. Said it with Monty last week, keeping it lower down. Now a lot of people have obviously asked in regards to chickens. Now we've seen Monty's last week. He has my chickens. Well, essentially my granddad's chickens. We've got 3 remaining. So this one, and this one. She is the oldest. We've had her for a good 4 or 5 years now. She lays blue eggs. I don't know if there's actually any eggs. I know Grandad's already been today. Oh, there is. There's one in there, but I'll just leave that because if I leave it in there, it'll encourage them to lay more still. So they're my hens / Grandad's hens. You don't get to see these very often because I say they're in Grandad's, but they're looking very good, nice, very good. And this is a little area here. Used to be raspberries in here because we used to have the chickens in the bottom, but we're too close to the houses, so we brought them a little bit further down here. And they're doing really well. I mean, let's see, look at these apples. This is what happens if you don't take fruit off. You just get little ones. So you only want clumps of 2, not clumps of 6. I've told them before, but never mind. But the weight of this tree here, the weight of the apples and the fruit in this tree, it's causing the branch to proper come down as well. Right. Time to sign off. So that's it for me for the day and this week. My phone's about to die as well. Trying to get as much content as I could, get as much done as I could as well for this week. I've got to go up and see my father-in-law now, as I've got to go and get a new heater for the room for my grow shed. It's actually on top of the grow shed as well. It's actually been a year to the day that Mr. Bump John put it up. So happy birthday, my grow shed. So yep, like I say, that'll be me for today unless I show you elsewhere. So if it is me for the day, I'm going to sign off here. So thanks everybody for watching, everybody for liking and subscribing. About 50 subscribers away from 3,000, and thanks to all the new subscribers that came along as well. I hope you've enjoyed the content so far. Like I say, it's coming up to the end of the season now, so you'll see everything basically finished growing. But if you want to go back and have a look at the back catalogue, you're more than welcome to do so. There's 3 years worth of videos there. So I'll catch you all next week. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.